Well, the Albanese government's budget backdown has failed to win over the small business community. Many now arguing the changes don't go far enough to boost investment and productivity. And joining us on the debrief today, journalists Fiona Ellis-Jones and Nick Kelly, hosts of the Hot Hits on the Hit Network. They're both with me on the desk today. What a treat for a Friday. Nick, I'll start with you. Do you think the government's done the right thing by backing down? I've seen headlines of backflip boys. There's a lot of negativity around this.
Well, this is the thing, and I'm no expert on the subject matter, but when anything happens in politics where people are calling for a back down on something or a reversal, they kind of can't win. If they go the whole way and reverse the entirety of the budget, they can't win. They get looked at as backflippers. They get looked at as, immediately backflipping. If they only go some of the way, it's not enough for some people. So I feel like whatever they do, they can't really win.
I mean, it's fair to say they did probably get it wrong, and they had a resounding feedback from particularly small business on this. Fiona, what's your take, though? It really is part of the process, isn't it, though, listening to feedback and then adjusting things?
Consultation, absolutely it is, and I think in that case then they should be rewarded. But I think, Nick, you nailed it on the head there. It is so complicated. We're professional journalists and it's difficult to understand the changes, particularly when it comes to CGT and small business and also capital gains. I think the only people really cheering are the accountants and the lawyers. Yeah. But something had to be done. The overwhelming feedback, particularly from small business, was so negative. So politics aside, from a purely PR lens, they had to consult and they had to change.
Whenever there's tax changes, everyone gets their back up because no one wants to be slugged and be any worse off than they feel they are. Okay, let's move on. This is sort of a different speed now. We've got a new corporate-sponsored AI-powered career coach is set to be rolled out in around 1,000 Australian schools. The $25 billion initiative has sparked major concerns from teachers and career counsellors. They say their individualised advice, that really can't be replaced, and particularly if it has that sort of commercial background. I mean, the commercial thing I have a problem with, but in terms of AI, what about that as the place to go for advice for the next generation?
I think it's going to have a role to play in all of our careers and all of our lives regardless, but there is nothing that will beat that kind of human-to-human connection of a careers advisor at a school. I remember my one was so adamant about me focusing on my studies, and of course I did the exact opposite.
Nice.
But I think it will have a role to play, and potentially at least giving people a chance to learn about new things that they could do that they didn't know about in the first place. These career advisors are looking after, hundreds of kids at once. If AI can play some sort of role with the education piece rather than the actual sort of consultation piece, then maybe it has a role to play.
Yeah, I don't know, Fiona. I've had some pretty biased advice career-wise over
to be honest,
my time.
I actually think I'd rather get the AI advice, but we've got to understand that we're talking about kids that are so native to AI. And AI is part of every bit of their life, and it's going to be the full, decoupling of labour and productivity, but let's not go there. Like, we can't be like dogs watching TV when it comes to AI. I completely think it has a part to play in schooling now. And I also think that it's great to be able to teach these kids to be adaptive, to be resilient, and AI, I think it would actually give more tailored advice, to be perfectly honest.
Well, it's drawing from a lot more sources than a singular person. Sorry to all those career advisors out there. We also appreciate you too. Last but not least, doorbells. Apparently, they're on their way out because a survey has revealed Gen Z prefers texting from the driveway to announce they've arrived because it's less intrusive.
Oh, I'm so grateful that people are finally talking about this. I hate doorbells. I hate ringing them. I hate mine being run every single time. It is a text message, maybe a phone call, but also Gen Z, we're not making phone calls either.
What about a traditional knock on the door?
Absolutely not. Not a chance.
Well, you know what? I'm a millennial, an elder millennial, as my kids would say, and I'm also in that camp. I hate the doorbell. It's so intrusive. It sets off all my sensory overloads.
Okay, well, I'm not visiting either of you two at your place. That's it.
You can visit, just send a text.
It's an open door policy. You're welcome anytime for a cup of tea. Nick, Fiona, lovely to see you.
So welcome.
Thanks, Sally.